that you're enjoying Buffy, and this means that you're going to keep watching Buffy,
Yes.
which is awesome. What do you think, like, what are you expecting for the next, especially for the next season, but, like, just for the continuation of the series?
The way that the first season ended, nothing was foreshadowed necessarily. I don't know, because of how the episodes are, I don't know if characters come back or anything like that. What am I expecting?
What would you like to happen then, if you're not necessarily expecting anything?
I would like some concepts to be explored further. Some of them were crazy interesting. I would like more witches. Like, they tried to switch it up so that, or they tried to make it nice and varied so that there are different kinds of monsters every episode.
There's no vampires in Witch.
There's no vampires in Witch.
Yeah.
But there's only one episode where there's a witch in it, and then the other one, they ask when the girl turns invisible. They ask her, she's
not a witch.
She's like, are you a witch? And she's
a normal girl.
She's just a normal girl on the Hellmouth who turned invisible because people weren't paying attention to her, which is beautiful. It's so good. I want to see an exploration of techno-paganism.
You don't get a lot.
Yeah, but that is.
There's a little bit of it. There's a little bit more of it, but it's
interesting.
Isn't it though?
It's so interesting, and she's just like Giles. I know this stuff too. I found it all out on the internet and from talking to people. You found it out from your books and whatever. But we both have like the same info, and I can name stuff that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And I am currently
we didn't get to talk about Jenny. We're gonna talk about Jenny during season 2 talks.
I am currently in contact with people right now, whereas Giles' character is in contact with people from the past through the books that he reads, and that's like you don't care about the fact that Giles represents the past to the point where he's a watcher, and so he's a part of that whole lineage, and he's older. He's the oldest character on the show. I mean, who isn't a vampire?
Aside from vampires,
yeah. But like Giles represents the past, and then what's her name?
Jenny. Jenny Calendar.
Jenny Calendar.
Her name is Calendar.
That's a great last name. But like she represents the future, yeah. But she also, it's like she talks to people online, and there's this guy in I don't know, Saskatchewan. There you go. I was trying to think of a place in America. She's this guy in Poughkeepsie or some shit, and he's telling her about these demon tornadoes.
Demon tornadoes.
Right? Just like this wild shit. And I think that's really interesting. I think because she said paganism, and paganism doesn't have to necessarily be related to the this recording, sorry. Paganism doesn't have to necessarily be related to
the
occult. But if she likes, I like occult concepts, and if she like praises a dark god through the internet, but she's still a good guy.
Nobody can hear what you say.
He
said that'd be so cool.
Yeah, I'm growling. I'm making a guttural sound where I'm saying that. That'd be so cool. I would like. The Hellmouth is a super interesting concept, and it's the storytelling engine that drives all of the weird stuff that happens.
Yeah, that's what I specifically love about the Hellmouth, is that it's your excuse to do anything crazy that you want, because it's a Hellmouth.
It just, Hellmouths casually warp what we understand as physics. They just make things not a thing, and they can...
Because it's like magic and science. Basically, because in the episode with the Invisible Girl, it's just like I was expecting kind of a magical reason for this, but it's like science. And it's like Giles is the one that was talking about.
Yeah.
I think like was it the Invisible Girl one?
It was
I
because
feel
he was
like it when
he was talking about quantum
quantum
physics.
physics, and it's just like that's not how quantum physics works. That's not. But it's like magic science.
It's because he's like quantum physics does have to do with perception
True.
because of quantum entanglement. You're necessarily connected to the thing that you necessarily affect the thing you're observing it by observing it. Um, and so they like took that and they're just like he literally was just like,
what if you just stopped observing it? Would it just disappear?
no, but like
if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to watch it, does it just disappear?
Yeah, all of its particles just vanish. But like he's just like I was thinking about the magical, but I didn't think about the quantum molecular. What if?
It just why would it come to mind that that's what happens? But and
on a Hellmouth,
that's definitely not the last time that science on a Hellmouth, which is also something that makes me really happy. It's like it's an excuse to do weird science things, as in
Weird
like
science.
in addition to weird magic things. So the Hellmouth excuse is just a really, 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 really great thing to establish in the writing from the beginning. So you can go, oh, we have an excuse for all this weird shit. It's because Hellmouth.
And I really like that. And I mean, I expect it at this point, but I want things to get weirder. And, I mean, this is just me because I like Lovecraft and I like Cthulhu and elder gods and stuff like that. Like I love those concepts, just like gigantic, malevolent beings from other dimensions. And according to Cracked, there's like a part where there's a giant hand in Buffy.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're not talking about Cabin in the Woods? It's still Whedon.
Yeah,
but
it is.
At the end of Cabin in the Woods, when they don't manage to make the sacrifice or whatever, the gods come out and there's a giant hammer.
Okay, forget it then. I don't remember what were they saying about Buffy, but even so, when also the Hellmouth is like right underneath the library. It's like directly beneath where they sit all the time.
Yeah.
It's right there. Can they go? How comfortable are they about going back to that library afterwards?
They go back to the library in the first episode of the second season.
They
just don't give a fuck.
Isn't there a hole
in
the library?
I mean,
tunneling down to the catacombs underneath the city?
Like I guess it's like beneath the school basement. But what gets me is just like, how are you gonna like explain that to people when you?
I mean, also the vampire skeleton.
Exactly, it's just like right there in the middle of the school.
They just left it. They're just like, okay, we're tired.
Just gonna go.
The janitor will clean it up.
The janitor will clean up the giant hole in the floor and the vampire skeleton in the middle of the room.
I don't fucking. But I like the fact that when the Hellmouth opened, it wasn't just like a bunch of demons that crawled out or something. It was a tentacle horror.
Yeah.
And
yeah, what do they call it? There's a trope for this. There's a trope for the monster that's just disgusting, gross monster of monsters.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called, but I love that. And I like it when a show is not afraid to have like horror, especially if you're talking about otherworldly horror. It's not aliens, but it's just like a being so powerful that he like casually unseats things from reality, or his perception is like different. I want them to get metaphysical. That is that is the sum up of everything that I have said and that I'm going to say. I want them to get more and more metaphysical. I want the Hellmouth to have more um adverse effects on
People.
people, on Sunnydale. I want like day and night to stop working properly. I want just like freaky stuff. I want grass to grow backwards.
Stop it.
I just want freaky stuff to happen.
How disappointed would you be if some of the weird stuff that could happen and could be done with the Hellmouth isn't actually done?
I wouldn't be that disappointed only because that the things that I want out of series rarely happen anyways. So I don't have a lot of
#truth.
So I don't have a lot of expectations about them. I never feel like, oh, but I mean, except for with Doctor Who and Moffat, but that's only because I hate him, and I'm trying to prove that like I, as a 22-year-old who has no experience in anything, can come up with just like
better ideas,
way more interesting
concept than Moffat.
Than this idiot.
Yeah, basically.
He's such a dunderhead. I don't. This guy.
God, this dunderhead.
This fucking guy. But yeah. So no, I wouldn't be disappointed. I wouldn't be disappointed, and I'm generally able to separate myself from any of my expectations, anyways, so that I can enjoy the show for what it is, and even though I can think of more like spectacular things,
that doesn't necessarily make them better things.
That does make them better. And that's just how imaginations work anyways. You can always think of something more interesting than the thing. But I don't... It doesn't mean that in watching it I wouldn't find things that I had never thought of before. Because that happened in season 1. That happened in season 1 with the hyenas.
Yeah.
That happened in season 1 with it didn't happen with the demon. It happened with...
Come on, it had to have happened with the internet demon from the computer. Come on.
I feel like
That's clearly the best episode. And did that happen with the puppet show? Because the end of the puppet show always got me, it got me the first time I watched it, where I was just like, he wasn't the evil thing.
It didn't get me with the puppet show because that was too stupid. It was too stupid because it's a puppet. It's not.
But puppets are evil.
No, puppets are evil, certainly, and I understand that. But
that's the trope, I thought that was a good subversion of. Oh yeah, he stabs
the guy and falls on the sword afterwards.
And just dead.
It's like he
so great.
He goes as the strings are like pulling his hands up, and then he goes and stabs something off screen, and then goes because he's a puppet.
Specifically, the fact that the puppet wasn't the evil thing in the show.
No, sure,
but
but because the puppet was so ridiculous, I couldn't. You couldn't
just merit that episode at all.
No, I couldn't. Like I was, in fact, even after finding out that he wasn't the evil thing, I was just like, so he's just a creep.
Yeah, he's just a gross guy.
That didn't make me feel better because there's I mean, besides the point, like even at some point he's like describing either young women or he's describing Buffy specifically, and he goes nubile, and I was just like,
nubile is always a really gross word.
Stop. She's 16.
Doesn't stop Angel.
It's creepy for him too. He's like 300 and he's like 400 and something years old.
He's like 200 years.
He's 200?
It's not any better.
Okay, but it's still gross. She is 16. She's a baby. She's pretty, but she's 16.
She's really young.
And him just going like, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Stop it. And there's that part in class where he's just full on staring at her like.
Don't do that.
And I'm like, so with retrospect now, he was just
staring because he's creepy. But I mean, all right.
That's not
okay.
That's not okay.
So then, if the puppet show's subversion of the puppet trope didn't get you, then what did besides the pack?
The witch.
Witch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
witch.
that's a really really good episode.
That was good. That was a good reveal.
I'm not sure if it's the only one, but which is an episode that is called back to in every single of the following seasons. So I think you're gonna love some of the things that kind of turn out from how Witch ended, because it gets referenced over and over.
I mean, besides the statue's
statues.
eyes. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. Like the reveal was great. Everything about how that scene was shot.
Where they reveal the fact that they switched bodies.
Yeah, everything about how that was shot was good. Giles is just like, he has no time for this. Buffy's going to die in like 2-3 hours. I have to cure her right now. We need to get up to her room. Your daughter's doing bad things, and she's just like it. They foreshadow. It's not foreshadowing, but they like maybe
they set it up.
But they set it up because you see the inside of the house first, and you see her just sitting down and eating brownies, and you're like, that's nothing like how her mom has been characterized. Like, at all. There's nothing about, you couldn't, because it was far away, you couldn't necessarily tell she was eating brownies, but she was eating something from a plate, and she's just sitting down like, and then
I don't know. I think the thing that got me with that too was the first time that I watched the episode. What I expected from that was that Amy was actually like really terrible, and she was just hiding it really well from Willow. And she had characterized her mom really awfully and whatever, but like, she was actually a terrible person, and her mom was just letting her get away with things because she was scary. Yeah. But no, Amy hadn't been Amy for a while.
Is my mom? How long have they had different? How long have they switched?
And that's a great thing too, is that they don't tell you how long Amy was in her mom's body.
And it's like excuse me. I appreciate anytime body horror is used really interestingly. And I mean, it's just the old switcheroo, fine. But she was unwillingly put into her mother's like fully grown woman body.
Yeah.
When she was a teenager. She was unwillingly put in that body, and we don't know how long ago it happened. And now she's seeing through a different pair of eyes, and now she's like, she looks in the mirror and she sees her mom, and it's so great, it's so good. Everything about that was good, because I just started thinking about the implications. I was like,
that seriously had to be traumatic for her, considering that her mom was the one who did it.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't done to them. Her mom did that to her.
Yes,
so yeah,
so
it was great. And
there's
there's episodes like that even in season 2. There's a lot to look forward to in terms of subversions and setups that are really good, and twists that you don't really see coming, and things that are foreshadowed really, really well. And I cannot wait for you to experience that, because it's going to be hilarious when you react to it. So.
Me too. I can't wait. Me too.
So, after a good couple of hours, we're done. We're done talking, guys. So you can look forward to us talking about the first half of season 2 fairly soon. We're gonna get through that probably in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll keep talking.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.